All right. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Welcome to the second. Are we in the second or third day now? Welcome to the third day of the 2025 game plan. The last 2 days have been very educative. We had on day one, how to turn your startup ideas into reality. And that focused majorly on building your own product, growing into something sustainable, and also market testing, team building, and so on and so forth, which was very interesting. And then yesterday we had investment opportunities and strategy. Was focused on how to actually build your own wealth, how to increase your stock holding, your mutual funds, how to invest in cryptocurrencies, and so on. And I remember somebody asking what money market was and all that. So today, we'll be talking about exploring global opportunities. And I need to share my screen again. We have Niranthi on the call. She would be taking us through exploring global opportunities. Niranthi, you have a very beautiful smile, by the way. Niranthi is a senior analyst at Axion, and she focuses on digital transformation. Niranthi has a track record of delivering financial inclusion and initiatives focused on women's empowerment within Africa. And she has vast experience with MSME finance, technology, digital enablement, and she also handles a lot in terms of project management, stakeholder engagement, business analysis, customer engagement, capacity building, design, and client upskilling. And she's focused majorly on leveraging the power of technology, right, to achieve all these things. Now, Niranthi insights on global grants, fellowships, and collaborations are part of what has built her experience over the years. And she has also worked across certain donor-funded projects, and also fostering connections to serve as an ecosystem enabler, which makes her a very, very valuable guide, right, to this whole space of finding opportunities and taking advantage of them. So Niranthi is going to take us through how we can take proper advantage of opportunities around us and globally, right? Not just restricted to Nigeria or Ghana now. We're talking opportunities across the world. And Niranthi, you are welcome to our day three. Can you see? I'm sharing the slide down. Can you see it?
Yes, works perfectly fine. Thank you so much, John. Hello, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be connecting with you on this platform. I think this is a very good time to be having this particular discussion. So I would like to say a very big welcome to day three, but also particularly this conversation. So this is going to be a conversation about exploring global opportunities, like my colleague said. I would like to call it a guide to building the brand that you need to leverage the networks that you have for success. And this is a core part of exploring global opportunities. So that's why I think it's a very, very important discussion to have. So I'll just start out with a quick intro of what I do and who I am. Like my colleague mentioned, so my name is Niranthi. I work as a senior advisory analyst at Axion International. So essentially, Axion is a global nonprofit organization operating across 3 regions. And the aim is to create inclusive financial services. So providing underserved communities, underserved segments with inclusive financial services. And how do we do this? We make sure that we provide technical advisory, meaningful technical advisory to financial service providers, non-bank partners, embedded finance providers that equip them and put them in a position where they can serve these underserved segments. Yes. So through this technical financial advisory that we provide to our partners, we work to expand economic opportunities for particular subsegments. And like John mentioned, in my role, I work across large-scale projects, especially in Africa. My work has been in Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Nigeria. And I've worked on projects that are funded by the Gates Foundation, Conrad Hilton Foundation, UPS Foundation, MasterCard Center for Inclusive Financial Growth, the IFC, and a whole lot of others, to be honest. So essentially, my role involves a lot of conversation, stakeholder engagement, and I think I'm in a very good position to tell you what these people really think about us when we seek out funding, when we seek out opportunities as Africans, yes. And that is one of the conversations we're going to be having today. What do we need to do to make ourselves, or to put ourselves, set ourselves up to take advantage of global opportunities? So like I mentioned earlier, in the past also, as part of my volunteer work, I've guided some local NGOs and individuals to secure international funding to fund projects, ideas, products, different things really. And so I've always leveraged my experience in designing programs, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So let's look at what we're going to be discussing. Please, can we go to the next slide? So it's pretty simple. Like I said, we're going to look at how do we get to where we want to be able to take advantage of these opportunities. How we're going to start with that conversation is by discussing what are you known for today as an individual, as a company, what is your brand? Then we're going to go into building out that brand for global success. We're going to talk a little bit about how to identify opportunities. And then lastly, we'll close out with how to make the best of the opportunities that you're able to identify. We all know that opportunities are only as good as we're able to make use of them. And then we'll close out with some questions, but I think I would like to say that I'm a very interactive person. I believe that communication goes back and forth. So I would like every person who is on this call to be able to drop in the chat box questions, even contributions. If you can relate to anything we're discussing in your work, in your school, across any experience that you've had, please feel free to share it with the group. We're all here to learn, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing. So like I said, we're going to be starting out with a quick exercise. I'm all about activity, so I would really, really love you to participate in this. So please, can we go to the next slide? So we have a quick Mentimeter. I will be sharing that shortly, but I would like everyone to please scan the barcode, or you can click the link that I have just dropped. Sorry, I'm just about to drop a link in the chat. So okay, so we have the link in the chat now. Would like you to just click, I promise it's safe, or scan the barcode. We're just going to be answering a very quick question. I would like to see a response from everyone on the call, and I can see I can see how many people respond, and I know how many people are on the call. So please do well to type in something. So what is our question? Just before I share to go to the results. Our question says, what are you known for today? I would like you to add 3 words that describe you. And let's think about it from a brand perspective. If I were to speak about you today to someone, to say this person is good for this consultancy, this role, this opportunity, this funding, to vouch for you, what are some 3 words I should be describing you with to say this person is the best person for the job? So let's look at what the results are saying. John, please, could you stop sharing?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. We're good.
Um,
Okay. Okay, some responses are coming in. Like I said, we can see how many responses. So we still have some time. I'd like to give it 2-3 more minutes to see. They're very interesting responses, I must admit. But I do like this visionary. That is a very, very important thing. And we'll get to discuss that, as we progress. Value-oriented. Advisory. Do you know what it means to be an advisor? That is, you are a subject matter expert that is able to provide some insight on the subject at hand. That is amazing, really. So whoever put that there, I'm really happy for you. Creative. We see this in our work. It's very important. Resourcefulness. I think that's a big deal because that in itself says a lot about the person. It says a lot about their culture to work, about even how people would be able to get along with the person at work. Analytical is so interesting, strategic, disciplined, honest, empathetic. I mean, to be frank, these are, I'm seeing so many things I wouldn't have even thought about today, starting out this conversation. So I'm actually really glad that I started out with this because your feedback, your thoughts are giving me a lot of ideas right now. Friendly is a very interesting one. People say we don't come to work to be liked, but now I see that could be quite important, with scoring and maintaining global opportunities. Persuasive is actually a very huge one. You'd see that as we go along this conversation. But yeah, I think we can close this out in 30 seconds. Is there anyone smart that's actually so cool. Like, I actually no words. Okay, I think we can get right into it. So thank you all so much for your responses. To be frank, these are so insightful and I absolutely love getting this feedback. It's so enlightening for us to be able to have this conversation. So yes, we can go into the next slide. Okay, so let's talk about building your brand for global success. Now, a lot of people will say, what is a brand? What is that even? How does that tie into me being able to do my job? Or how does that tie into me being able to access the opportunities that I want to work at an international organization or something of that nature? I would tell you that a compelling personal or business brand opens the door. It actually helps you get your foot in the door. It helps you make your case better. And we see that when we look at the 3 core elements of a strong brand. So they're primarily authenticity, a clarity of purpose, and consistent messaging. Now, what is authenticity really? It's just essentially being true to your values, your mission, your identity. What are you here to do? So it's the foundation of trust and credibility because when I tell you that I'm here to talk to you about something, I'm here to talk to you about where you can find global opportunities. I'm here to talk to you about how you can take advantage of global opportunities. That is my mission here. Being able to do that today would prove me authentic, won't it? So it ensures that your audience sees you as genuine and reliable. By the time I'm done today, I really do hope that you would have been able to take something out, specifically on this topic, such that you're able to say, yes, I was able to deliver on this message authentically. Clarity of purpose, when we think about it, at this age, in this day and age, there's so many ideas. We want to do a lot of things. In fact, I can give you 10 ideas right now, business ideas that I've been wanting to do for the past 2 or 3 years. But clarity of purpose is something that is very, very important when you build out a global brand, a brand that you want to stand tall amongst people from other countries, other regions. The clarity of purpose involves having this very well-defined mission and vision. So your audience would understand what you stand for and what you aim to achieve. If I come to you today and I give you 10 business ideas, you cannot tell which one I want to implement tomorrow, which one is the lowest hanging fruit, or which is the most viable. A clarity of purpose is when I come to you with one single idea, telling you extensively how I have been able to study it, how I am sure about it, and how I am planning to, deliver on it or chart my path forward. That is a clarity of purpose. Consistent messaging means that your brand's messaging should be unified. Now we see that a lot of people have maybe some platforms on LinkedIn, some people have personal blogs, some people have personal portfolios. For technical guys, you have the GitHub. All of those things are great. But one thing that is important is being able to say, when I look at your LinkedIn, when I Google you, when I look at your portfolio, can I tell what this person does? What is this person's brand? So consistent messaging should be that singular brand message across all your platforms, ensuring that whoever your audience is, whoever your customer is, gets the same impression no matter where they encounter you. So I cannot be at an event, maybe I've been invited to speak on something and I'm talking about thriving as a public servant, or how to perform better in my job at the Ministry of Communications, and I'm here talking about social development or global opportunities. You can see how that differs. I have to make sure that my brand is aligned to one mission and one mission that can tell who I am and what I aim to do for the audience or what I aim to contribute. So these are some core elements of a strong brand. It is the thing that people see first about you. It's the first thing that they come across. They say first impression matters. Your brand is your first impression in most cases. People tend to know, or through hearing about you, through seeing some work that you've done, but they tend to know about you before they actually have a conversation with you. We've seen that in job interviews as well. What you put in your CV is the first thing that they come to know about you. So how consistent is that brand that you're putting out? This is a question that I would like you to all answer at the end of this session. So let's go into steps to build and share your brand. Now, there's so many things, when you talk about brand, they're professionals. They're professionals who can sit with you, work with you, help you define it, and help you build out that stellar brand. Those people are actually very, very important. But I know that at the early stages of a career or a business, sometimes these things are far out of reach. So the first step I would like to think in starting this sort of journey out is defining your unique value proposition. I term this as a unique value proposition because in every situation, be it a job application that you're putting forward, an application for funding, a scholarship application, whatever the situation is, a proposal for a project, you are putting forward a unique value proposition that says, I am selling myself to you. This is what I can do. If you have not been able to define that, can you see how you would, like anyone would struggle when they try to understand, what is this person really here to talk about? What is this person really here to do? So that is always the first step. It is also important to introspect in this sort of case where there's a lot going on. And it's important that as a person, you're able to connect with that unique value proposition. Fake it till you make it, but in some cases, you can't actually, that won't fly. So I always say being able to connect with that unique value proposition is important at that point, because that's why you ask yourself, why am I doing this? What is my why? And when you're able to communicate that, it takes you very far. Now, once that is done, what do you need to do? You need to start communicating. So communicating happens in different ways. You're able to do this by creating an online presence. So we've already mentioned this: a professional LinkedIn profile, a portfolio, a website, even just a blog, if you're a writer, for example. These are things that you would put out to say, this is my work, this is my track record. Or even when you don't have a track record, you put out with the aim to start building out. It is very important, because you're talking about global. How do you want to connect with the global networks, the global communities, without an online presence? I don't think I need to say more. So let's talk about when you have done that now. You need to start sharing. You need to start participating. And take it from someone who is an actual introvert. I do know that this takes a lot of effort. Knowledge sharing is something that is an investment. It's always advisable to start at the level that you feel comfortable. But it's also important to know that thought leadership does not happen overnight. You don't become a subject matter expert overnight, such that you're able to commandeer attention. But by the time you start this process, you release a blog or an article, or even just as simple as a social media post that says, you know what, I'm the best in my field. I'm the best realtor. I'm the best salesperson. I'm the best data analyst that you can find in this area. That alone is putting you on the map. 10, 15, 20 years from now, someone might be searching and come across that post. And that's an opportunity. So knowledge sharing is one of the most important things. But not just knowledge sharing, saying, oh, I did this, I did that, or I know how to do this. Testimonials and endorsements. Now, I'm sure a lot of us would have asked once or twice for an endorsement, a recommendation letter, be it from the university when you were trying to get your master's, or when you were trying to get your first job. Recommendation letters are very common, fairly common. Those are more formal. But I would like to think that endorsements come even in the simplest of ways. You do something for your clients today. You design a simple flyer, and they send you a WhatsApp message saying, oh my goodness, thank you so much. The flyer was so great. It was able to get us a lot more audience. The social media posts you put up for us, the promotions that you were able to help us put up on Instagram was able to take our reach further. Having that messaging, of course, with their permission, and being able to share that with prospects to say that, you know what, I've done this before, and this is a testimonial from someone that says, I did it, and I did it well, could take you so, so far. And then lastly, participating in communities. So being able to show up is very, very important. You are only so much, so good as your online presence when people are able to connect with you in person. Now, sometimes, of course, especially in this part of the world, in Nigeria, it's difficult to do that, especially when you're dealing with like a global audience. But traveling is not always the next step. It could be as simple as a virtual meeting. It could be as simple as attending a webinar and catching up after the webinar. Those things are very important. Making sure that they align with your brand is foremost, because that is when you're able to leverage on the opportunity that they present to you. But those things are important in establishing yourself as an expert in the field, or even as someone that can be considered for opportunities. So these are some few steps that we can all start taking to build our brand. And I just want to be able to explain this as it aligns to connecting to global opportunities, not just connecting to them, but being able to take advantage of them. So let's move into the next slide where we talk about building an international network. Great. So there are 4 key things. Yes, 4 key things that we need to be doing at every point in time. Now, you would be able to think about this and realize that, oh, you might have met someone last year and you didn't do one of these things, and that's why the connection died out. So let's discuss it and let me know if you have that sort of experience. Yes. But let's start out with building an international network. We've already talked about online platforms and how they help you. LinkedIn is so great. You can literally see the designation, the workplace, you can connect, you can search. That's amazing. 10 years ago, that wouldn't have been possible. So think about how closer LinkedIn has brought someone in the DC area and Silicon Valley, in India, those places that you could probably not just hop on a flight and get to tomorrow. But now you can see what they're doing. You can see if they're going to a conference. You can see their interest when they like a post, when they celebrate something that they've just launched. And you can use that to start out conversations. How amazing is that, really? But let's go into some more professional things like global conferences. Now, a lot of these might require some investment, but these are things that are very important, especially when you're building out. If you are able to find conferences, events that align with your brand, and I continue to say align with your brand because there's a very famous saying that says, if you get on the wrong train and you realize that you're on the wrong train, the next best thing for you to do is hop off. Because if you continue to stay on that train, you end up at the wrong destination. So being able to retrace your steps, I found an event and I want to figure out, would this event actually matter to what I do today? Would I be able to connect with professionals in my sector, in my field? I go back and I look at all the topics, all the discussion sessions that would be happening, all the people that will be speaking, the keynote speakers, and I don't see anyone that is talking about anything social impact, anything financial inclusion, anything social development, anything economic opportunities. What am I doing there, really? The next thing that I do is, even if I've registered, I have to rescind that registration. I have to deregister myself because I know that that would be a waste of my time if I go to a conference where I'm not even able to follow the conversation, especially when I'm not attempting to break into that field. So being able to understand what are these conferences, what are these communities, what are these events that are in my field that I can tap into. There are so many. In Nigeria even, we have a very vibrant tech community. Every other week, something is happening. Although there is a peak period in the year when a lot of these things happen. But we know that every single time something is happening, being able to connect to those things is very important. Now, going into when that happens, what do? When you attend a conference, communicating that value proposition that you've been able to align on is very, very important. And it's important because if you're not able to communicate your value proposition, it's a wasted effort. Now, you've been able to meet someone at an event and you've communicated, you had your 1-minute elevator pitch, and then it's time to follow up. What do? If you're not going back to learn about your prospects' missions and goals, to understand their objective and to understand what opportunities exist, you're doing it very wrong. Because if you're following up to say, hello, we met at the event with no call to action, that is a wasted effort. So that is the next step, actually. And then further down the line, being able to outline a roadmap of how your partnership can grow into what these opportunities that you've identified, essentially the challenges that you're experiencing that you feel like you will be able to solve, or the opportunity that you have that you would like to bring to fruition. So I think we've talked a lot about being able to connect to the opportunities. Let's go into the next slide. I just want to highlight quickly identifying these opportunities. So I want to talk specifically about two things: residency programs and career development. These are two very different things. So a residency program is something that gives you, is like a program that gives you funding and sometimes housing, travel opportunities, but essentially development opportunities to allow you immerse yourself in the creativity process. So think about the medicals, the sciences, when they go into like a research project to develop a new drug, for example, or in the academia, when they're researching their thematic areas to build out certain coursework. Or even artists, you know, they take residency programs to just go creative and just paint or draw, whatever they do. So there are so many funds that allow you to do that. They give opportunities to Africans with preferences to Africans. And I would be happy to share a list of these ones that I have in these slides after this meeting. But I would encourage each and every one of us to look into these things. A lot of the growth that you desire starts from knowing that these opportunities exist. A lot of them are tailored to particular sectors, so it would do us a lot of advantage to take some time to understand who is this fund or this fellowship open to, what sector, what sort of solutions, and then go from there. For career development, when individuals look out for full-time or temporary job opportunities, consultancy, funding type opportunities, there are so many platforms that offer you global opportunities. Glassdoor is one of my favorites. DevX is one that is very big on the development side. So if you're in the international development sector or consulting, research, that is one place that you can find roles, funding opportunities, consultancy opportunities. It's actually an amazing platform. And then on the tech side, we should know about Upwork and TopTal. These are mostly for freelancers or people looking for remote roles. So like I said, it would be great if you would be able to take some time. We can't go too deep into this because of the time, but take some time to do some research after this, and we'll be happy to share with you these particular platforms to just take a look at in your free time. But let's just go into closing out this session with letting your work speak for you. Please, can we go to the next slide? Awesome. So establishing a strong track record is very important. I'll give you a very quick example. Malala, you know, the pioneer of Malala Fund. She's a Nobel Peace Prize winner, and she's an advocate for girl-child education. Now, let me even tell you the background. Malala rose to global prominence in 2012 after she survived an attempted assassination by the Taliban in Pakistan. And this was so important because at the time she was 15 years old. Malala had, before the targeted assassination, she had been advocating for girl-child education in Pakistan, where the Taliban had imposed the ban on girls attending school. So the moment that happened and she was able to move out and immediately start, you know, speaking more about her work, she already could show that strong track record because she had been doing that in Pakistan. She'd been advocating for girls' education worldwide, and she had measurable results. So she established the Malala Fund, and she started supporting education. Until date, is supporting education for millions of girls. But why is this relevant? Why was she able to key into the global audience? She was able to position her work to align with SDGs. We all know what that is. So she was able to appeal to the international organizations, the governments, and the global audiences. This is how she showed that global relevance. This is just a simple example to tell you that it's not just about talking or saying, crafting a nice public statement. You would have to be able to show that you have a track record, and you have to do that by the time you're having these conversations, which means that by the time that you have an opportunity, you should have had a track record, meaning that you should have been doing this work from time, at least for a few years. So being able to show that you've done it for a bit would actually set you apart. Let's go into the next slide, please. There are 4 key things that I think that everyone should be doing. If you're not able to do all 4, I want to tell you for a fact, this is my statistic. I speak to a lot of people. I want to tell you for a fact that 90% of the people, the successful people that I know personally, were able to share that they've engaged in 1 or 2 of these activities. So 1 is being able to master their narrative, being able to craft that compelling personal statement, professional story that tells of the work, their passion, their impact, their mission, whatever they're trying to do, and aligning that with the global opportunities. A second thing is cultivating that thought leadership that is necessary. Like I mentioned, contributing to blogs, webinars, seminars, publications. When anyone Googles you, those things come up. It shows that you are an authority in your field. A third thing is investing in lifelong learning. Now, being able to continuously upgrade your skills is very important. I'll tell you, it's a simple secret of mine. Every couple of months, I go on Glassdoor and I look at jobs or opportunities that I would like to hold in the next 10 to 15 years. I look at the requirements for these opportunities, and that is what I use to craft my learning plan. That is what I used to say, by the next 5 years, this is where I should be. Being able to upgrade your skills through certifications, through seminars or whatever is so great. But being able to align that with a path is actually simply perfect. And of course, staying updated with global trends is very important, because you need to know what the global market wants. So that is one of the key things that I think we should be doing. But lastly, when you get the opportunity, how do you demonstrate that you are actually fit? A lot of us might have heard this term, culture fit. It's very interesting, I tell you, because you could have gotten to the last stage of a job opportunity and they tell you, oh, I'm sorry, we can't hire you because you're not culture fit. What does that mean? You have not been able to demonstrate your cultural competence. That is simply showcasing your ability, that you're able to work in diverse environments, your adaptability, it is very important to show that wherever they put you, you're able to pick it up and run with it. Effectively collaborating across geographies with different people from different regions is something that international organizations, companies consider very, very important. In fact, I would say it's one of the foremost hiring requirements as someone who has gone through a hiring process. So these are some 4 things that I tell you guarantees you a 90% success case of landing those global opportunities that you want to land. But now I would like to close with something that is very important to me. It's a personal statement of mine. Can we go to the next slide, please? A lot of you who know me personally would have heard me say this multiple times. A commitment to excellence will always set you apart. It is something that I live by. I live and breathe it. I wake up thinking about how can I display how excellent I am, how good I am at my job, how committed I am to the mission. This is something that will always be seen. It's like light in the darkness. And I'll give you 2 or 3 examples. Let's look at Apple's design and innovation philosophy. We know about their product design, their functionality, their customer experience. We've seen it over the years. A lot of us use Apple products. They are a leader in the tech industry because of their commitment to excellence. It is so evident that we see it in the products that they put out, which continues to redefine the standards of innovation and quality. I'll give you another example. Serena Williams, she's one of the people I deeply, deeply admire. And one thing that she's said time and time again in her interviews is her dedication to excellence in her training, in her discipline, and in her strategy has earned her what she is today. Serena Williams has 23 Grand Slam titles, and it is from being committed to being the best. I would close with this. Malcolm Gladwell said in his book, Outliers, if you spend 10,000 hours on literally anything on earth, so be it a field that you would have never imagined in your life, if you wake up today and you decide that I'm going to start learning and I'm going to spend 10,000 hours, you become a master at that field. Your goal in your early 20s to early 30s should be doing everything to ensure that you're able to clock 10,000 hours within the shortest possible time. I've been able to define this for myself, and it is 3 hours of dedication every day for 10 years that will take me to my peak. I don't know how you would like to define this for yourself, but I would like to encourage you to commit to a life of excellence as you engage in, these different steps, finding global opportunities, setting yourself apart to take advantage of them and excelling at them. Because I believe that there is no way that you would go through all of these steps and you would not be able to excel in whatever opportunity you find yourself. So I would like to close here. Thank you so much, everyone, for this time. It's been such a pleasure. I was glad to get your thoughts at the beginning, but would like to get any questions and concerns, contributions that you have now as well.
Thank you very much, Niranthi. That was very, very informative. So while we're waiting for the questions, I have my own, I took down some things, I noted some things. And my own question, the first part is, you talked about creating an online presence. Sorry, I'm learning from the beach. Just ignore the leaves behind me here. So you talked about creating an online presence. And now for some people, this might sound like showing off, right? You don't want to, some people might say it as, oh, you're doing too much by being out there, being online. So do you probably want to like say a few more light on exactly how to be out there online, how to have that presence?
I think that's an amazing question because this is something I've thought about even for myself. Yes. How do you know when you're doing too much? I would admit that there are times that I've seen situations and I thought it's cringe. And this is also because, like I mentioned earlier, I'm an introvert, and some of these things 2-3 years ago were very cringy to me. But I would also like to add that one thing I've learned is no one can sell you as well as yourself. And you are in charge of your destiny, really. So if you decide that you need to sell yourself, you need to do what it takes to sell yourself. I would tell you that, there are situations where your job mandates you to do something like that. And because of that, you're convinced to put out posts, to do a white paper or a project report here and there that puts your name out there. But also willingly coming to it would help you unlock that potential for yourself. And still coming back to, you're the best person to sell yourself. You know your skills better, you know your capabilities better. So if you're not doing it for yourself, what are you doing?
Oh, very good, very good. So that is actually very nice. The second thing I want to talk about, I would want you to talk about, although maybe not exactly explain, but yeah, you mentioned building international network. Niranthi, are you Nigerian?
Yes, I am very much Nigerian.
Okay, because I was just about to start building my own international network now, since nobody's asking any questions.
Okay, I think the key thing is a lot of these things that we've discussed today are notes that we need to either start doing, continue doing, or start thinking about, to be frank. If you haven't, these are things that you have to start thinking about. And I would encourage everyone on this call, please, this is a platform for us to connect. So please do not hesitate to reach out with questions. If you have concerns even around what should I be saying or what should I be doing. It's a lot of work, but day one, let's start.
Hit the ground running. So we have a question from Jacinta. She says, how do we show ourselves to be culturally competent?
That's a very good question. So I would like to answer this by saying this definitely depends on the organization. Being able to understand what the values are prior to your conversations is very, very important. Why is this important? Because when you communicate what you bring to the table, if you're not aligning it with the values of the organization, there's a problem and they would find you not to be aligned with them. In fact, it would be so glaring that you won't get a call back, be it for even a vendor role or an actual employment or a consulting role or whatever. So being able to understand what are the values, and then if you don't align to that value today or those values today, how do I build myself to align there? Like I can tell you that there is somewhere I have a dream workplace that I've not been able to get to. And what is my mission? My mission is building myself up. I've looked at their requirements. I've looked at the culture there and building myself up to get to that point where I know that they would not be able to say, you know what, we're not hiring this person. That's the secret. I hope that answers your question, Jacinta.
Jacinta, so you've heard, build yourself to the point where they can't say no to hiring you. That is very amazing. So yeah, she has approved that you've answered properly. So I think one of the major keynotes that I've also written down here is that we should jump off the train if it's not going to pass our bus stop. So provided you're on a train from Lagos to Ibadan tomorrow and they're not taking the route you want, please jump off. But don't say I told you to. Okay, so guys, I believe that we've all learned something here. And like Niranthi said, a commitment to excellence will always set you apart. I think we can like all say that together. Just don't unmute your mic, or if you can, yes, please do. And just let's read together in 3, 2, 1, go. A commitment
A
to excellence.
commitment to excellence will always
Commitment to
set you
excellence will
apart.
set you apart.
You guys are not good students. Please, let's try again. In 3, 2, 1.
A
Commitment to excellence
will
Commitment
always
to
set
excellence will
you
always set you apart.
A commitment to excellence will always set you apart.
Oh, so the voice.
Interesting. You want to come and do MC in my place?
I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
we have one more question. Let's just take this and then we move on to the next speaker, guys. We're running out of time. Temilolua says, what role does public speaking play in marketing oneself as a tech professional? Shots fired.
Okay, I'll try to answer this quickly. I see we're already out of time. But I would say, starting out with what we discussed as one of our first steps, I think the second step, being able to land your elevator pitch. Public speaking is actually such a big deal. It's not something that comes to a lot of people naturally, but it is something that is very necessary. It is necessary as a tech professional because you are communicating something technical, but you need to communicate it in a way that is understandable to the person that is listening to you, that is about to fund your idea. So think about a situation where the president of Nigeria says, you know what, tell me your idea and I'm going to fund it tomorrow. Do you know if he understands code? Well, now you see how you need to communicate effectively. So public speaking is something that is a skill that can really, really put you up front and help you do that effectively. I think when you also get to the point where you're trying to build that network and, you know, attend conferences and possibly speak and present your learnings as well as part of, you know, building that thought leadership image, public speaking comes into place. So I would always encourage everyone to do whatever you can, take the courses, practice, whatever it is that you've identified as your format to build that skill.
All right, thank you very much, Niranthi. Samuel, I hope Temilolu, sorry. Okay, yes, he has said thank you, and that is very clear. So, guys, public speaking is important, jumping off the train is important, and commitment to excellence is very, very important. Thank you very much, Niranthi. We really appreciate your time, and I hope to make international connections after here.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. It's been great on this speaking to you here. I'm looking forward to our next connection.
Yeah, and then you can please just share your socials, probably LinkedIn, Twitter, and if there's Instagram, some of us will not mind. Just share it on the chat. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. That's phase one. We are moving on to the second part right now. Niranthi has been very, very instrumental to our learnings. So the next person I'm about to invite is a nurse, and this is where it gets interesting. So we have Zainab Ismaila. She's on the call, and Zainab is a licensed physiotherapist with over 7 years of experience in Nigeria. Zainab specializes majorly in cardiorespiratory physiotherapy. See how difficult this thing is for me to even pronounce. Now, she did her first degree in University of Debrecen, Hungary. Zainab, all these things are so difficult for me to pronounce. It is giving me a hard time. And then Zainab is currently running a MBA at Lagos Business School. Zainab is a very passionate person, and she's mostly passionate about wellness and activity, right? She volunteers in things like Physio Day, cancer awareness outreaches, and so on. And then she also is an accredited basic life support trainer. So if you want to save a life tomorrow, you can reach out to Zainab, and she's going to train you on how to save lives. And she mentors in her free time. She mentors young physiotherapists, and particularly women, right, who intend to grow and continue in this industry. And Zainab is currently a staff of Evercare Hospital. I'm sure if you've been to Lekki, you would have seen that big hospital by the road. Yeah, that's Zainab for you. So Zainab, you're welcome. Good evening, and thank you for giving us your time this evening.
Thank you so much, John. Good evening. Physiotherapy, cardiorespiratory, Debrecen, that's another word that you missed. It's good to be here with all of you today. So what am I talking about? I'm just going to tell you about creating healthy habits, like, you know, being basically physically fit and mentally fit, because all of them are all under wellness. So let's not go into 2025 and say we're going to go to gym for the first 2 weeks of January and then drop out for the remaining of the year. Let's create sustainable things that we can continue doing from beginning of the year to the end of the year and future in our lives. John has already said, you know, a bit about me. I'm currently working in Evercare. We're dedicated to transforming healthcare in developing countries. It's under the Evercare group, which also has other hospitals and clinics in Pakistan, India, and Kenya. Yeah, so licensed trainer. So if you, yeah, I volunteer in my spare time. I'm currently doing my MBA. So what am I going to talk about today? The importance of health and wellness, physical health, where it comes into all of this, where mental health comes into all of this, and also creating healthy habits and routines. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. It's going to be very brief, very, to the point. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So importance of health and wellness. What does health and wellness actually mean or take up? So wellness is taking up your physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, social environment, all the factors that affect you as a person. That is what your wellness is about. While your health is also about your physical, psychosocial, economic impacts that also affect your well-being, that could cause whether it's physical or mental stress. So these are the elements of a fulfilling life that influence both mental and physical well-being. So the benefits of good physical health. Physical health is not just about, oh, I'm slim, oh, I am too fat, or it's about, are you healthy? So are you doing the things that you need to do, and are you within, like, it's not just a particular weight that, yes, so, or your waist is snatched. Just because your waist is snatched doesn't mean you're healthy. So it's about disease prevention. So what are you doing that is helping you prevent other diseases or conditions, or falling sick? Are you taking care of yourself from inside to outside, and are you also taking care of yourself from outside to inside? Increase longevity, so taking care of yourself, that you have a fulfilling life, good quality of life. Weight management, are you within a good weight range, not just a particular weight? And even in that weight, there are factors to consider. Is it that do you have genetic factors that make you more sustainable to a weight than another weight? Do you have a condition that you're managing, again, that takes you to one weight more than the other? But within those weight limits, are you now being healthy? Are you now making the right choices? Improved physical appearance. You've heard that if you drink enough water, your skin will glow. So again, this comes in with, are you taking care of yourself from outside to inside and inside to outside? So are you eating the right things, which I am going to go into that. Are you eating the right things, and are you exercising, moving, doing the correct thing, that you're presentable, you have a good appearance? Good mental health. There are so many things now coming up that people are more aware of their mental health than they used to be. Now people are also embracing mental health than our predecessors used to. Are you in a good mood? Good mental health gives you good mood. If people in my patients and people in my hospital and people at my workplace come in every day and see me squeezing my face, for sure they know that they will keep talking, and they know that this girl, something is wrong somewhere. Like, is everything okay at home? Is she doing well? Some people might even ask you if they care enough about you, but others might just talk about you. So have a good mental health. Cognitive function. Being in a good mental space will also help you to think better, make your brain work better, because if you are going through a lot, you are having depression and whatnot, how would you think clearly? How would you make rational decisions, both at work, at home, anywhere you are? Then stress management. How are you managing your stress? How are you planning your time? How are you taking, do you have work-life balance? Those are all things that now end up for you to have a good mental health. So these are some tips I just put on the screen of ways to improve your mental health. I will go into them a bit more. Not all of them, but the most important ones that will help you and are more sustainable. So spend time outside, relaxation, spend time with people that you actually like and care about. Don't go having toxic relationships. I don't understand what you are doing if you're in that situation. Avoid, have routines that you can actually follow. Get help if you need help. And then at the end of the day also, Impact of well-being on your socio-economic status. So productivity, being physically fit and in a good mental space will give you increased productivity, both at work, at home, anywhere you are. You will see that you're able to achieve more and do more properly, effectively, and efficiently. The cocoa of it in this era, inflation, everything that is going on, the better you are with your healthcare and with your health, your well-being, your mental health, everything will help you reduce cost because you're not going to the hospital. And again, as John will tell you, if you've seen our hospital, it's reasonable, you can come, but it will reduce your hospital bills, your medication bills. If you are seeing a physio, if you're going, whatever type of medicine that you are taking on and doing, it will reduce your cost effectively. And having more money in our pockets will surely make us a little bit happier. So daily routines that can improve our lives, things that you can actually work on and help you. Nutrition, exercise, sleep, and stress management. With nutrition, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, but from conversations I've had with them, from things that I've studied, things that I've read, your water intake is very, very important for your digestion, your skin, your every single thing. Just drink water. In fact, just drink water. Take 2 to 3 liters every day, as much as you can. I advise that, in fact, also drinking water will also help you keep moving, because the fact the more you drink, the more you will want to pee, the more you're not sitting in one place. So drink as much water as possible. And we're not saying tea, coffee, juice, smoothie. Drink actual water every single day as much as possible. Meal prep and balanced meals. Meal prep will actually help you when you're doing the meal prep. It doesn't feel like you're saving time, but it actually helps you save time in the future. So at that moment, it's overwhelming, it's a lot, but eat the things that you love to eat and meal prep them, plan them, and they will help you also to keep in your calorie count. If you're trying to lose weight, for sure, calorie deficit is the best way to lose weight. So you're counting what are you eating. So meal prepping and eating balanced meal, planning ahead for your meals is the best way to do it. You're not just going to say, oh, I'm so tired coming from work today. Whatever I find in the fridge is what I'll eat. That's like so bad, because you're not going to be able to eat properly. You're just eating what is available. And then there are people that eat for sustenance and people that eat for enjoyment. So you have to choose which one are you doing. And in that, you now have to look at it that what is my aim? What is my goal with whether I'm doing like a particular type of nutrition and all. Avoid unsustainable diets. So we have a lot of yo-yo diets and all that, people that will cut off a lot of things from their diet. And to be honest, you find a small amount of people that are able to sustain it, but it takes a lot of discipline, they will tell you. But majority of people are not able to do it, and they crash and they go back to the weight that they were before. First of all, eat your 3 balanced meals, have snacks in between. And when I say snacks, I mean healthy snacks, nuts and all that. Try to eat as healthy as possible. Again, that's where meal prep comes into place. You've already planned these things ahead, so you're not just eating anything that comes up. When you have sustained diet plans, you're eating the things that you normally eat on a normal day, in a good day, as in Nigeria, whether it's swallow, whether it's rice, whatever it is, yam, but you're eating it in a well-balanced form, and you're dividing your plate adequately. You have your vegetables, your fruits, your carbs, your oils, you're eating it properly in the right portions. So what I want to now finish up with nutrition is eat what you like or what you love, but eat it in moderation. Nobody is telling you stop eating ice cream. At the end of the day, there is milk in ice cream. There are things that are beneficial to you, to your body. There are beneficial calories and nutritional things inside every food that you will get. So don't cut out anything, just plan it well and eat it in moderation. If your guilty pleasure is soda, please drink your soda, but know how you are drinking it. I am not telling you that you should go and drink 3 bottles a day. It's not me. And I'm not a licensed nutritionist, but I can tell you that, drink it in moderation. If you're drinking it once a month or once in 2 weeks, that's not bad. What is the calorie count of that versus whatever else you are eating that day? Exercise. So, well, where my specialty is and where I can actually say even more than, nutrition. Why are we exercising? It increases your energy, it reduces your stress, and it improves your mood. But at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, our bodies were not made to stay in one place. God did not create us without legs. He created us with legs so that you can move around. You can't just decide to stay in one place. So if you're like, I was going to say like me, but you're not like, if you're like an office worker and you're in one place having meetings, sending emails for long periods of time, that's where I come back to nutrition. Drink lots of water. By fire, by force, you will stand up and go and pee. And what the older generation had that we don't have, and I see it every day at work, is that we see a higher prevalence, a higher amount of younger people now coming in with issues that older people are now coming with. They didn't have it when they were younger. So the thing what they had was that they used files and folders. And so if they are working like this, they had to stand up, go to the filing cabinet, go to their secretary. They did not have mobile phones. So technology is both a blessing and a curse to us. A curse in that we are so enclosed and in our sedentary lives that we're not moving as much. We need to make sure that we move as much as possible. If you're sitting, adjust your seat from time to time so you're not just in one area. You're sitting up, you're going down, so you're moving around, you're moving your body from time to time. You're not sitting in one place. So I tell people this, and maybe it's a chaotic thing to tell people now. Everybody will have some sort of arthritis, and everybody has some sort of arthritis. Now, when they do your scan, your X-ray, your MRI, they're going to see some sort of degeneration from the age of 30 or whatever. But it just means that you're using your body. It basically just tells you that, you didn't sit down in one place like statue for those years of your life. Now, what now helps people is, what are your habits? Are you sitting in one place? Are you staying in one place for long periods of time? Do you do any physical activity? And what is your posture? How is your posture? Whether in lying down, in sitting down, in standing, all that. So just keep moving. Now, the arthritis only becomes painful to most people because, again, lifestyle choices. So what you now need to do is also remember, keep moving and strengthen all your muscles. Just keep strengthening everything. So as I've written here, just keep moving. Even if you're not able to do anything, keep moving. Stand up, walk around, take a short walk. That's the easiest thing you can do in this life. Take a walk. With exercise now, something you need to remember, and as I mentioned at the beginning, is that consistency over unsustainability. You don't want to say, oh, I'm going to start. You don't want to be one of those people with 2025 goals that will say, I'm going to start going to the gym from January 1st. January, the gym is always a bit full. And then after 2 weeks, you now see that there's a drop in number. Go back March. The regulars are the only ones there. So let's avoid unsustainable goals. Let's have, things that we can actually start off and continue. So if right now, at this moment in time, you are not doing any movement, you're not doing anything, just decide that every day you're going to take a 5-minute walk. Start with 5 minutes. Whatever you listen to, whatever you like to listen to, whether it's music, whether it's podcasts, whether it's preaching, whether it's Quran, anything, put it in your ear, let it distract you. If you're somebody that needs somebody to gist you, sometimes when I'm taking a walk, I call I call people and just gist. I don't know where the time goes. I just walk while gisting. By the time you finish all the calls in this one with your AirPods and all that, you won't even know that you've walked 15 to 30 minutes. But when you just decide, okay, I'm just going to be walking around. What are you, a soldier? Like, let's be realistic about this. Start small and easy. 10 minutes a day. If you're a morning person and you know that you wake up early enough that you have enough time to take a 10 minutes, 15 minutes walk before work, then do it then. But don't make it that every day at 6 o'clock I'm going to take a walk. Start by, okay, tomorrow I must walk. It doesn't matter when I'm going to do it. It can be morning, it can be evening. Just do it then. Sleep. No. Sleep improves improves your brain function, mood, and recovery. If you're like me, you would know that if I don't get enough sleep and I come to work, they will know because I'm grumpy the whole morning. They will even know, like, Zainab, are you okay? I'm like, just leave me first. Let me have my coffee and then I'll be adequately caffeinated. So my brain has not yet finished waking up if I've not slept properly. Most adults will tell you that maybe they will sleep 4 to 5 hours and they are good to go. But are you actually good to go? Or are you just managing yourself? Now sleep for 6 to 7 hours and see how productive you can be, how your thinking will improve, how your mood will improve. And then it gives your body time to recover from what you've been through the previous day to what you'll go through the next day. So make sleep a priority. Sleep 6 to 8 hours as much as you can. Sometimes it's not realistic, but yeah, sleep 6 to 8 hours. I don't know if I do it, but I'll try my best. So I decided that how can we build our, I didn't decide, yeah. How can we build our daily habits? Whether it's now, whether it's next year, whether in the future, use the healthy habit equation. So it says that it takes 21 days to build a habit and 90 days to build a lifestyle. If you're trying to change one thing about yourself, like let's say, again, exercising, start with one thing. Don't say I'm changing my meals and my exercise, and don't do everything all at once. Again, go back to the last slide where we have start small and easy. Just take things one by one. Tackle one habit at a time. If you're dropping a bad habit, drop a bad habit. If you're trying to improve on a good habit, do that. If it's your posture that you're working on, do that. So you have for the first 21 days, you have to have reminders, things that bring you back and tell you, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to start with. This is how you're supposed to sit. Do that. Mental reminders, physical reminders, accountability people that will remind you, oh, sit properly. Oh, you're supposed to do your work today. Oh, you need, for those 21 days, you need something that will trigger you to do it or to drop it if it's a bad habit. So that for the next 90 days, you can now build it and make it a lifestyle so that it unconsciously just comes up to you and just like, oh, I didn't even realize I am now doing it. You're doing it on your own. Your brain has already processed it and it has become a character, a habit, a lifestyle for you. So healthy habits that you can try and build on. You can do time tracking, which will help with your work-life balance, with scheduling your life, with improving so many things in your life, both mental stress management, everything. Deep breathing techniques help also with stress management techniques, mindfulness and physical activity. All these help to reduce your stress and also help you to build healthy habits. So let's start. So time tracking. If you're taking anything home today, this is one of them I want you to take home. Do not set unattainable plans, set smart guides. Okay, so here, when I say plans, I mean like rigid plans, and tell yourself that, oh, I have this project from work, and even though your deadline is Wednesday at 2 p.m., that means that I must to work on it Monday at 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. Set plans that you can actually work with, especially if you're in Lagos and what's it called? Traffic, life gets in the way. Well, when I say smart, I mean the specific, measurable, attainable, smart guides. So guides are more fluid, but they're also telling you what you can do and how you can like achieve them. What I try to do is every Sunday, I try to make a guide for my week. What are the things that I need to do? And what are the things that I have to do? And when kind of do I want to do them? So if, let's say, as I'm doing my MBA, I have an assignment and I want to finish it latest Wednesday, I put that I'm going to work on it Monday and Tuesday. So because I'm also at work and I need to fit that into my work day or after work day. So I need to plan that. So I just tell myself, okay, I'm going to work on it on Monday and on Tuesday. So between Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to work on that assignment. But I'm not going to wait till the last possible minute to work on it. That's stressful. Now, with that, I will also say set short-term plans and long-term guides. So with your short-term plans, what you're going to do is, now those are daily plans. On Monday, when I wake up or before I go to sleep on Sunday again, I'm going to think, okay, tomorrow, these are the things I want to achieve. But bear in mind that at the end of the day, I've not had a meeting with my boss on that Monday meeting, and she's going to give me things that I also have to do. So that's why I do guides that give me space and time to fit other things into it. And then that's where an Eisenhower matrix comes in. If you've not heard of it, Google it. It's about importance and urgency. Importance and urgency. Is it important? Is it urgent? Is it important? Is it not urgent? That's how the box goes. So where do those things now fit in? So if I've made a plan for a guide for myself on Sunday and I come to work on Monday and my boss has given me new things, I now have to just readjust my day and make sustainable plans or guides for that day that will also not make it stressful for me and overwhelming. Mindfulness. Each day, a lot of us already start off our day by praying and being with God and all that. But after that, take 5 minutes. Just take 5 minutes of the day, whether it's at the beginning of your day or at the end of your day. Take 5 minutes out and just be with yourself. Let your silence be loud. Think about how is your day, how do you want your day to go, or how did your day go? Just relax, have positive thoughts, be with your own self, be in your own quiet. I think a couple of days ago, even like I already tell people that sometimes I just want to be in my own quiet. But a couple of days ago, I now watched a movie, I can't remember the movie, and they said something about hold on, let me just remember. If you sit in the question long enough, the answer will come to you. Sometimes those are your moments of genius, your moments of mind, like, did I react appropriately today to this situation? Think about it, reflect, be mindful about how you want to be, how you want to behave, how you want to react to things. If you're forgiving, forgive, and do things that you love to do. So it's not just about being quiet and being in your own space. It could be meditating. It could be doing something that you love. You could just take time. Oh, you see, even the screen is telling you can even decide, oh, I want to go into gardening, and this is my own personal time for me. I want to do yoga. I want to cook. So do the things that make you happy and feel fulfilled. Okay. Deep breathing exercises. Sometimes our days get hectic, stressful, and quite overwhelming. And if we've been triggered, whether by our colleague or our friends or whatever it is, take a step away and take a deep breath. So you can even practice with me right now. Inhale. Just take a moment, take a deep breath. It comes back again to mindfulness. Even during your mindful moments, you just want to sit, take a deep breath and relax, because the stimulus we have in our surroundings and our environments can be very, very overwhelming. So what is the impact of building daily habits? Consistent small actions create big changes or big impacts. Do not take on a very big project on improving yourself. Yes, you have a guide, you have your vision, you have what you want. As Niranthi said, she goes to sites and sees how what are the roles that they need, and she now builds up on it. She's using small actions to create big changes and big impacts for her future. She's building daily habits that will affect who she becomes. So this is my things that you just take with you. Do not set unattainable plans, set smart guides, small changes, big impacts, and build sustainable routines. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zainab. Virtual round of applause for you. I mean, while you were talking, I just had to take some time to leave the beach and get to the farm so I can stay healthy too. Thank you very much for that session, and well done. I also noted some things down here, and the first one is, although you were firing a lot of shots, but may the best shots win. So you mentioned here that having snatch race does not mean you are healthy. That's number one. And then you also said that we should not have toxic relationships. That's number two. And then you said to exercise daily and to sleep. I mean, a lot of young folks don't want to sleep because sleep care. I want to buy Lambo. And then yeah, you said to eat and drink moderately, right? Whatever you love doing, do it moderately so it doesn't hurt you. And then move your body and be mindful and demure. I like that part. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please unmute your mics, and let's just say after me, be mindful and demure. One, wait, let me finish counting. 1, 2, go.
Be mindful
and
and demure.
Sharp. Well done. Thank you. So we're going to take questions and contributions quickly. Does anyone have any questions? Let me quickly go through the comment section. Oh yes, I had to come to the farm so I can be healthy too. Being at the beach for too long is not safe for my health. Okay, so no questions so far. No questions so far. Okay, so Lucy said avoid unstable goals when it comes to healthy lifestyle habits. Thank you so much. PT Zainab. What does PT mean? Oh,
Physiotherapist.
therapist. See, this is how it is. Okay, so Jennifer is asking a question. Jennifer said, is the stress of moving around during work hours substitute for exercise?
No, I don't think so, because you're not doing targeted exercises when you're moving around during work hours. Yes, you're getting your steps in, but they don't really count as exercise. You need to take time out of your day, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, to actually do targeted or take up a sport that you enjoy. So if it's swimming, if there is something that you've always wanted to learn, a sport, this is the time to learn it. So I think there are a lot of most people here are quite young. You know, in fact, it doesn't matter the age. I've seen people in their 60s taking up swimming and learning it. That is a way of engaging their body. 30 minutes, 2 laps, tennis, golfing. So, finish.
So you're saying now that if, for example, the Akara woman that has to go to buy stuff at the market on a daily basis, that is not also part of exercise. So I still have to find time to have focused exercise like stretching and yoga and stuff like that.
Yes, John. So you said the Akara woman, and then you said you still have to find time. Are you the Akara woman?
Is an example, for example.
Oh, of course, she has to find time. Well, she has to find time to try and exercise. But if she has walked around in the market and has gotten, let's say, 5,000 steps in, she now has to take out time to actually do the remaining recommended 5,000 steps.
Sorry, it's just me asking this question. So when I'm walking on the road, would I be counting my steps like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Your phone counts, your watches count. We are in the technology era. Everything is counting our steps.
Okay, because I wanted to throw it to one of the members in the conversation. Her name is Alakpa Gold. She mentioned that she walks around in the market a lot, and that's why I had to ask the question. So, Miss Gold, wherever you are, walking around, you have to make sure you have 5,000 steps at least, and also try to find time for focused exercise. So, Joy is asking another question. With the nature of my job, I climb a lot every day. Joy, do you work with IKEDC? So she's asking that does that not count for exercise for her?
No, it doesn't. It's not targeted exercise. What is she doing it for? That one, she's just climbing somewhere to get somewhere. But actually
She has to
targeting.
change wire.
Sorry?
She has to change wire, like you know, this IKDC thing where they climb ladders and all that.
No, she needs to do targeted exercises. It will be more beneficial. So when I say targeted exercises, as I said earlier, what is going to help you in old age in the long run is strengthening exercises, so you're strengthening your muscles all around your ligaments. Then what they're actually going to help you moving around only keeps you mobile and only takes you so far. But now using exercises and strengthening to back it up is what will help you in old age.
Okay, so before I ask the next question, I'd just like to ask, can you give us like a simple strengthening exercise that we can all try out, say in the morning when we wake up?
For which part of the body?
For me, for example, I want to keep my muscles, so something like that. Like
the easiest thing you can do, because not everybody has dumbbells at home, take 2 bottles of water and just do a biceps curl. That's as easy as it can get. Then after that, take it up. So just take it to the sides. So you can do like 15 reps, 2 sets. So 15 repetitions, 2 sets or 3 sets, depending on what your capabilities are. So it could be as easy as you don't need to go to the gym to work out. You can work out from home. There are so many things that will assist you with it. It's, again, as easy as a bottle of water. So, yeah, and if you need it to be heavier, what we tell some patients is pour sand. So it becomes like a sandbag. It becomes heavier because the sand will be heavier than the water that was in the bottle.
Okay, so guys, if you have your bottle of water, you can just I don't know why Zoom is hiding my bottle, but like just lift your bottle, use it to fold your elbows and in and out just to stretch. All right, so let's go back to the comments. We have another question from Zainab Mohammed. She said, is it safe to exercise when your joints make sounds when you move? I think this is more of a consultation kind of question, but do you want to take that, please?
Sure, I can take that. If you have pain with it, then stop and get a professional, assessment and let them check it out. But if there is no pain, if it's like your knees, because most of the time it's the knee, I would say take up cycling. So not you can do the bicycle if that's what you have, but I will advise like the stationary bike. Go on it 10-15 minutes a day, you see a wealth of difference. But as long as it's not causing particular pain, most of the time you can just work on it, strengthen, and again move. So take up cycling. They're the best things for your knees. Even if you're not able to do anything, cycle.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. Sorry, I just have to indulge you in this one last one before I go back to the Ronke asked, can you recommend a simple exercise for thighs? Yes, I don't have thick thighs. What do you think I should do?
Okay, so before I answer that, John, I'm going to make a comment on it. John, are you skinny? Because why do you want? Sorry, let me be a serious person. All right.
Please answer the question.
All right. Can you recommend a simple exercise for thighs? So the easiest thing I can say is straight leg raises. So when you're sitting down or when you're lying down, just raise up your leg. So now the mistake that people do is that when they're raising up your leg, if it's like this, and you're raising up your leg, people raise it up like this. You don't want to raise it up like this, easier. Just raise it up barely, a little bit off the ground, so you can bend the other knee, and then make sure that your leg does not get to the height of the other knee. It's more impactful than if you're raising it up all the way. It's not about how high you can take it, but the quality of the exercise that you are doing. So again, with that, you can either sustain it 10 seconds and do a repetition 3 to 5 times, or you can do 15 times, 3 sets.
Okay, thank you very much, Zainab. Guys, I know this is medical related and everybody has like a lot of questions to ask, but Zainab charges a lot of money for these sessions, so we might have to round up very quickly. But before we go, I just want to remind us of the keynotes for this session, right? From my own notes, you might have something different, but the first thing here is that you exercise daily. So no matter your line of work, make sure that you take a walk in the mornings, according to what Zainab said. Second part is sleep. Sleep is important to keep you alive. So sleep, right? And then eat and drink in moderation. So if you love chocolates, take them wisely. If you love wine, take it wisely. And then having snatched waist does not mean you are healthy. So if you think that because you're skinny and you're snatched, you are healthy, you might be wrong. So try to exercise. And then lastly, be mindful, be demure. Be mindful and be demure. So thank you very much, Zainab. Thank you very much, everyone. You can all reach out to Zainab via her socials. The recording of the session will be sent to your emails, and also Zainab's socials will be made available. Hey, God, see, they're already. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, Miss Gold. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Dennis, you said we mentioned that young people in our generation with illnesses common to older people. An example of these, I think you can probably just Google this. There are a number of illnesses that were for the older guys. So things like diabetes, some stuff that were majorly for old folks before, and then we're now seeing them in younger people these days. I don't know much about even arthritis, cancer, many things, but I don't know. I'm not a medical person. So thank you very much for your time, everyone. This is the end of the session for today. We hope to see you again tomorrow, where we'll be discussing real estate. So if you want to buy a house or you need to buy land, you can join us tomorrow in our real estate session, and we hope you have a good time. We're going to be having Dr. Wale Fakonda. Don't worry, when you come, you'll find out. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good night. Bye.
Bye. John Akela.